Mary Jane, weed, pot, trees, chronic. As we have all heard of it, it is the third most popular recreational substance in the U.S. and other countries around the world. Congress passed the Daniel Act in 1956 to increase penalties for marijuana use. And since then, we have seen a steady increase of people who support legalizing marijuana for medicinal and personal use. According to Marijuana.com, the support has went from 12% in 1969 to 55% in 2012. The question of the 45% who don't approve legalizing marijuana is, why should we legalize marijuana? And that's a great question. Today, I'm here to give you insights on the health benefits, economic value, and safeness of marijuana. So, let us begin. In the U.S., we have 23 states that have legalized marijuana for medicinal uses because the health benefits that it provides is substantial. According to the Business Insider, there are 23 benefits of marijuana. And as you can see, right here on the PowerPoint, I have 23 benefits listed. I'm not going to go over every single last one, but I will go over a few. Over 2 million Americans suffer from epilepsy. The THC found in marijuana helps relax the exciting muscles that causes the seizures. I have a cousin who's had seizures all of her life, and she started using marijuana when she was 19. Now she's 24, and her seizures have decreased from once a month to maybe 3 a year. The next benefit is it stops the spreading of cancer. A study conducted by the University of California Center for Medical Cannabis Research showed that marijuana turns off a gene called the IB1, which when turned on, the cancer produces more and spreads throughout the body. So with the help of marijuana turning the gene off, it causes the cancer to become less aggressive. A new research at the American Journal of Medicine showed that marijuana helps the metabolism. Yes, that's right. It shows that regular pot smokers average 1.5 inches smaller than the average person. It also proves that the fasting insulin levels were lower and they were less resistant to insulin blood sugar levels. Adding to that, regular smokers had higher levels of high-density lipoprotein, which is the good cholesterol, which supports heart disease. Next will be the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, known as PTSD. The THC in marijuana regulates the overactive fear system and anxiety in the body and brain. Studies performed at Emory University by Dr. Carey Presley showed that on mouse that were treated with THC, they seemed to be less anxious, more calm, and a lot hungrier. Now, the most well-known use of medicinal marijuana is used to reduce pain and nausea from chemotherapy. The THC helps the side effects such as alleviating pain, decreasing nausea, and stimulating the appetite. The FDA-approved over-the-counter prescription contains some level of THC. So we realize that it does have a benefit in the health world. So now let's move on to the benefits of the economic value. In the U.S., the war on drugs costs taxpayers an estimated $12 billion annually due to arrest and jail time. According to norm.org, the average arrest yearly is 693,000 individuals, where 88% of those arrests are charged with possession only. Jeffrey Miron of Harvard Economics estimated that we would save $8 billion in law enforcement if we legalize marijuana. States such as Colorado and Washington are the only 2 states that have legalized marijuana for recreational and medicinal uses. According to NerdWallet, a personal financial site, Colorado projected revenue from marijuana is $30.6 million, just from taxes, an additional $17.3 million for medicinal uses. And while Washington is projected at $51.2 million. From a recent report from the Green Wave Advisory, they say that if marijuana is legalized in all 50 states and we put an end to prohibition, it is estimated to bring in $35 billion annually by 2020. So it only makes sense to legalize it so we can add to the economy instead of spending billions of taxpayer dollars on a drug war that the government will never win. That takes me to my next point, that marijuana is one of the safest drugs, and especially when compared to alcohol, which is legal. In 1933, alcohol was legalized after prohibition, but marijuana has not to be legalized, and it has least effects on the society. So according to the CDC report, it shows that over 37,000 individuals die yearly from alcohol use, including accidents, withdrawal, and overdose, where there are no reports around the world where marijuana has caused death. Cancer.org states that alcohol is the cause of mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, and breast cancer, with, with cancer being the second leading cause of death and alcohol being the first preventive cause of death. We see that alcohol can be very dangerous. And according to the Institute of Medicine, marijuana has no links to cancer. Now, many folks will argue that marijuana is more addictive than alcohol, but with facts and studies, it proves otherwise. The Union scientist explained that when one is deprived of marijuana, he does not experience the withdrawal like one would experience with alcohol, which can become fatal. Last but not least, alcohol is a major factor of 25 to 30% of crime, 21% risk of injury accidents, and 70% of domestic abuse, according to the National Council of Alcoholism and Drug Dependence. A study done by Colorado's Marijuana Enforcement Division reports a decrease in crime since the legalization of marijuana. That's because it has a sedating effect that calms the body, and one is less likely to become violent or get involved in any confrontation. So with only the four facts that I have provided, it makes you wonder, why is alcohol even illegal when it is one of the leading issues in America, when marijuana can be the leading benefit? In conclusion, we see that the medical benefits, economic value, and safeness of marijuana use can be very beneficial to our country. It is left to us, the people, to change the law. So if I have changed your mind or given you any more confidence on doing the right thing, you should join a pro-legalization organization, contact Congress, or vote when it's time for your state to weigh in. Thank you for your time.